we're all on this path of recovery, right? Path of recovery, path to recovery. Either way, the word path suggests it's a journey as opposed to a destination. And there is no destination, right? It's just a continuous journey into recovery, which is why people say they are recovering as opposed to recovered, which also suggests that there's always some disease on the path of recovery. And there is. And this makes sense when you look at the starting point, which is the path of disease. You know, prior to my first meeting, there was no recovery on my path. And it wasn't a neutral path either, right? There was just a lot of disease. And when I came to my first meeting, it didn't mark an abrupt end of disease. What it marked was the beginning of a long, gradual ascent of recovery and a long, gradual descent of disease. But on the same path, right? It's not as if you step over a line from disease into recovery. It doesn't work that way. And the decline of disease as well as the ascent of recovery are more zigzag than a straight line. And the catalyst for these zigzags, right, these ups and downs, is life, which is yet another path that I'm on. But it's not really a separate path, because the path of life as well as recovery and disease are the same path. They are one path. And it's important that I recognize this, that I'm mindful of this reality, that life will throw me unexpected curveballs, and that disease is ready to be activated or amplified, right? And the only solution is to keep working my recovery program. Now, this idea of disease being on the path, right? What exactly does that mean? Well, disease starts with dis-ease, right? Dis-ease. Things like fear, anger, and resentment, right? These God-given emotions are hardwired into my DNA, which is why they'll always be on my path, because they actually serve a purpose, right? They're survival traits, and they're meant to be used and then put down. And then put down. When used as intended, life remains manageable, and I don't cause harm to myself or others, right? When I don't use them as intended, when I hold on to them, when I feed into them, when I refuse to put them down, right? That is when life becomes unmanageable, and I'm likely to cause harm. That is when dis-ease becomes disease. And that is what program refers to as character defects, or normal traits dialed up beyond their normal and useful range. That is disease. Recovery is learning how to use these survival traits as God or nature intended, right? And to recognize when they've gone out of their useful range, right? So that I can apply the program tools, namely the 12 steps, but also reading literature, calling my sponsor, getting myself to a meeting, right? This is the path of recovery. And this is why it's an ongoing journey, not a destination. We just keep practicing it, and we keep getting better at it. And we all do this together. We support each other. And if life bumps you off the path of recovery, your higher power will be right there to help get you back on your feet. And your program friends will be at the edge of the path with their arms extended out, right? To help you get back on the path. And you would do the same for them, right? You would do the same for them. So it's a path of fellowship as well. So don't worry that there's some disease on the path, right? With all the tools of recovery. Or rather, if you use the tools of recovery, then you can keep dis-ease in check. And life is good.